handle it.
I should never have said that. This is the one where I fell?
Yeah.
Okay. I've already told this a couple times at this convention. It's kind of an every panel thing. Okay. This was many years ago, prior to my manhood. And, you know, back then I was quite immature. Not like now. And I'd lean back in my chair like I was a couple minutes ago. And so I'd be doing that while I'm supposed to be recording. And you hear 3 beeps before before you can start recording. So it's like beep, beep, beep. It's kind of a warning. And, so I'm leaning back in my chair, and I always do this. Did this prior to manhood. And at the second beep, I stop leaning back in my chair, I lean forward, and I record. And I say it and just nail it with my magic. And so this one time, instead of leaning, you know, I try to lean forward, and my body goes kind of forward, and then the chair goes just further backward. It slides. And because this was Studio C, which is very small, it says Studio Closet on it. And so I'm wedged between the wall and the chair. And so this was at the second beeps, then the third beep happens, and what Mike ends up hearing is me going, "Help me." He's like, "Aaron? Aaron?" So he has to open the door and like help me get up out of this position where I'm like eating my knees. That's the story.
If you want to grow up and be a man, make sure you eat your knees.
I have to tell you, Aaron, you really have grown up quite a bit, though. It's kind of awesome to see you all grown up now. Because when he was first recording the show, we had to like say, okay, if we can get to this next chapter, you can play your Game Boy right after that.
I remember that.
Yeah, we had to bribe him with like games because he could not focus sometimes. I mean, you were pretty freaking young when you were doing it. I could have not paid attention.
I think 9 is when I started voice acting.
Yeah. That's pretty young to do this. And a darn good job he did.
Thank you.
Yes, where's the energy? I want applause. Yeah, good.
I want to sound like that table. Sorry, it's like
want to
I'm
sound
really
like
bad
that
about that.
table.
It's like joke you told at a panel. This weekend.
We were playing craps. That's where my inside joke is. And it's always the other table that sounds like really loud and fun, and our table's like, meh. So we want to sound like that loud table. There it is, there's the story. And then I fell over in the booth and I was stuck.
Well, the reason why we were quiet is because we've determined that in craps, if you say anything at all, it will get blamed for causing the 7 to be rolled. Oh man, you shouldn't have said I'm going to go use the bathroom now, because man, that's what happened.
That's what it was.
You guys are always wanting me to come to the table and leave.
What's the 7 do?
The 7 makes you lose. The 7 makes you lose $400 at one time.
400.
Yeah, unless you're Sabat, and then it makes you lose $700 at one time.
But you win it back. In spades. Which is not another game, that was just a phrase.
You can go ahead and ask your question, we're just...
Okay, can you guys do your voices from the anime? Like Trinity what?
Can we what?
Do your characters' voices from the animes?
Oh my gosh.
Clear.
Trinity Blood.
Okay, you want another line? Affirmative. Go ahead. Yeah.
I can't even think of a line that Dietrich had, but I don't think his voice was too different from my own, maybe a little more sinister, so I will say, welcome to the Trinity Blood Basilisk cast panel.
And mine was just higher and shakier and more liable to break down in tears. So, let's see. Father Night Road, no!
I don't remember mine, but I bet it was really good.
Esther, can I tell you my feelings?
Yeah, you can, baby. Sorry, Bob. It's all good. All the cool people weren't in that show, whatever.
Hi, I'm new to the Trinity Blood series. I was always wondering, why does Abel always go through some type of chant, then he goes all vampire? I never really could figure that out.
You know, those
Because he's stupid and so is the show, that's why. That's the reason why. She's just jealous. She was filming a movie.
I don't know. Why does Saiyans power up? It's kind of, I guess it's the niche for that show. I don't exactly know.
What was the question again?
Why is it, every time Abel goes up, turns like his vampire mode, he always does some kind of chant? I really didn't.
Oh, he says Kruznikov too.
Yes.
Probably some special
Questioning
Christmas thing.
transformation.
Okay, I didn't know if I would experiment or not, so I just wanted to ask.
So voice activated.
I don't think so. I think probably he's an alien and he has a chip in his head that he has to say something to activate. That's probably it.
I have one in my head. I say boom, boom, and it works. That is such cool hair.
Thank you.
Jim!
I found this wig in my closet.
Nice.
Yeah.
It just appeared.
Yeah.
That's
so,
cool.
so, yeah. But why did you become voice actors? Like when you were little, did you say, I want to be a voice actor? Whatever. Like why?
They offered me money. So I said yes.
When I was young, I watched a lot of Transformers. And Scatman Crothers, or Jazz, in that show was always my favorite character ever. And he was also
Hong
Kong
Kong
Fu. So
Yeah.
between those two characters and Scatman Crothers, I knew that I thought it would be the coolest thing to do something like that. But in all honesty, like teenage and high school, all those childish things got washed away, if you will, and I didn't have any desire, if you will, to do that. And it was kind of on I guess, fate or chance that I got into this at all. And so I started off as an ADR engineer working with Chris on Dragon Ball Z, and I just thought this was the coolest thing ever. And so, of course, I thought I can do it. And so Chris kind of shared with me that was actually not probably true. So I would get in and do a bit part every once in a while, and sometimes they'd go over well, and sometimes they wouldn't. And one of the things, I guess, in wanting to do this was, well, not really wanting to do this, it was kind of, I think I wanted to do it for a bit of an ego trip, if you will. And I think it was once I got past all of that I actually got cast in something. So it was like, I really wanted to do this, I wanted to get in there, and I wanted to go to cons, and I wanted to do this and that. And I think once I got past all of that ego-driven kind of whatever, then I guess things kind of started coming together a little bit more for me. So.
Okay, thanks.
Bye, Jim.
Stay for a little bit.